Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Nabila Faizah Zahra and my student number is 242200X0. I am from class A1 2024, student at IKIP Siliwangi. This presentation covers my final project research proposal presentation video for the course Speaking for Academic Purposes. This slide shows the member involved in the research project. Although this is a group work, today I will present it individually. The title of research proposal is The Use of Short English Films to Improve Middle School Student Listening Comprehension Skills. We believe that in today's digital age, using engaging media like short films is essential to make English learning more effective and interesting for students. Alright, let me start by explaining the introduction section. Here are the core research problem addressed in this study. Three main issues are identified in the current educational context. First, students demonstrate a lack of listening skills when students try to listen to conversation between teachers, native speakers, and etc. This point highlights that many middle school students struggle when they listen to spoken English, especially in real-time conversation. Their difficulty often comes from limited vocabulary, lack of exposure, and unfamiliar pronunciation. Second, students are rarely using foreign language, always using their first language or mother language. Students tend to rely heavily on their native language in daily communication because English is rarely used in their environment. Their listening ability does not develop naturally. Third, a habit observed is not using subtitles when students watch foreign films, especially English language films, as it is an international language. When students watch English videos without subtitles, they miss important linguistic cues. Subtitles can support understanding, especially for the beginners, but many learning situations do not utilize them effectively. Okay, let's continue to the purpose of the research. The primary goal of this study is to determine the effectiveness of using English short films in improving middle school students' listening comprehension skills. Furthermore, this research aims to analyze the effect of using subtitles, specifically both English and Indonesian subtitles, on the student viewing experience and comprehension. In addition to the skill improvement, the study also intends to explore students' perceptions and responses regarding short films as a learning medium. This includes assessing the extent to which media available on digital platforms, such as YouTube, can motivate and support the listening learning process. Based on the purpose, there are two main research questions. First, how do middle school students perceive the use of English short films as a learning medium to developing their listening comprehension skills? Second, how does the use of short English films affect students' motivation and overall learning experience in listening activities? And overall, these questions aims to understand how students feel about using short films in listening activities and how the film influence their interest and motivation during the learning process. Now, let's continue to the methodology. The research design uses a qualitative descriptive design. This is chosen specifically to explore and describe student perception and experiences concerning the use of short English films. In general, this part explains who the study focuses on and how the participants are selected. The population refers to all middle school students, showing that the study target learners at that level. A convenience or purposive sampling method is used because it selects a class that is accessible and relevant to the research objective. The final sample consists of 30 students from one intake class who take part in the learning activities and provide data for the study. Now let's move to the next slide about data collection methods. Data collection involves three methods. They are observation, interviews, and documentation. Observation is used to monitor students' responses during the learning process, supported by field notes. Interviews are conducted using semi-structured questions to deeply understand student perception. Finally, documentation collects supporting evidence such as activity photo and the result of student listening task. The data analysis method, the collected data will be analyzed using the Miles and Huberman model, which involves three sequential steps. They are data reduction, data display, and conclusion drawing. In detail, data is reduced by selecting important information, then displayed in a descriptive form. And conclusions are drawn regarding the improvement of student listening skills and their overall responses to using short English films. And overall, this analysis process helps identify clear patterns in students' reaction and learning progress. It shows how effective the short films are in supporting listening comprehension and highlights the key insight gathered from the classroom activities. So here are the references used in this research. This research supports the study by showing previous findings about how English films, videos, and subtitles can help improve listening comprehension. To conclude this presentation, short English films show strong potential in helping middle school students improve their listening comprehension. The use of films makes students more engaged, more motivated, and more familiar with real spoken English. Subtitles also play an important role in supporting understanding and making the learning process easier to follow. And overall, short English films provide an effective and enjoyable way to support listening activities in the classroom. Alright, that's all from me. Thank you very much for your attention and have a great day. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.